Hello. I've been kind of inactive lately. I just started this channel and got a couple videos. Yet I've been laid off for 3 weeks. I've been sitting at home for 3 weeks straight, observing the at-home restrictions. The state of Michigan is in lockdown. We've been in lockdown for over 3 weeks, and we're going to continue to be locked down for a few more weeks due to this coronavirus threat. Um, I don't know the actual statistics and numbers, but there's Michigan's over more than 1,000, maybe a couple thousand deaths. Um, could be 10,000 cases or something like that. There's hundreds of thousands of cases, tens of thousands of deaths. It's a really sad situation. So I've been lazy and inactive because I'm sitting here for weeks on end. But let's get into the topic matter. And we're gonna make this a short video because I'm only gonna do like 7 verses. First, I'm gonna look at my phone for this person who tagged me in a post. My Christian friend, that I usually don't have Christian friends on Facebook, but she's an actual real life friend, and she's what a miracle, what a blessing. Oh yeah. Italian doctor after COVID-19. I was an atheist, but now I'm back to God. As if that's supposed to convince me to go back to God. Yeah. I've been an atheist for like 20 years. Reason it happened is I read through the book over and over. I still read the book over and over as an atheist, and I am an anti-theist. And I think this is ridiculous. It's a fairy tale book, let me put it that way. And I'm going to show you in the verses that I do. By the way, some of our friends love React and shared it. And they'll say, amen, amen. They didn't even click inside the link. If you click inside the link, it actually says it's fake news. I think it's really silly and ridiculous if you are an atheist and then all of a sudden, I'm wrong about it. No. Let's just go into the topic matter about this dumb shit. That I do not endorse this book or advocate to use the words of this book. I'm an atheist. I use this book as a weapon against itself. It's all evil. It's all lies. I'm capital N-O-T. I am not a pastor. I'm an activist against this evil, despicable book. I invented that intro myself because some people actually confused me as I'm really a Christian pastor. I just happen to have a head knowledge, a photographic memory, and all that. And like I said, I use it as a weapon against self. It's got contradictions and evils and lies. So let's go on with it. Why don't you just go back to God? Let's go with that. Why don't you just go back to God? Yeah, as if your link really convinced me to go back to God. Once you go fact, you're not going to go back. Okay, 1 Kings. The book of 1 Kings. Chapter 22, verses 22 and 23. 2 verses. And the Lord said unto them, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all the prophets. Lion, capital W and capital L. Lion, capital L. Lion. He said he's a lion. He says, I'll put a lion spirit in the mouth of all the prophets. If he says all the prophets, that's capital A-L-L. All means the entire book. lion spirit in the mouth of all prophets. Guess what happens next verse? The very same thing. Now, therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lion spirit in the mouth of all thy prophets. The Lord has spoken evil concerning thee. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be a believer now. No. But Mo, you got to read the complete chapter. You can take it out of context. I say you could have one story. You could have one story in one verse. You could have one story in a half a verse. I'll show you that with Ezekiel 14. Ezekiel, however you, 14. This is all by memory. Why can't you do it, Christian? I don't even have notes for this. This is a totally easy video because it's memory. And like I said, you could have a story in a half a verse. You could have a story in one verse. You don't have to read the complete chapter. If I was to read the complete chapters, I'd be making a 100 minutes long video. Ezekiel 14, verse 9. Never get to it. Yeah, there we go. I don't use bookmarks. And it's a giant book, so a lot of flipping. Okay. In my hand shall be upon thy prophets. Oops. I made an error. I went to the wrong chapter. Ezekiel 14, verse 9. And if a prophet be deceived when he hath spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet. That's a half a verse. If a prophet is deceitful in his speech to you, who deceived that prophet? It's the Lord who deceived that prophet. If he deceived the prophet, didn't he deceive them all? Half a verse. 14:9. And if the prophet be deceived when he hath spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet. Next half a verse. I will stretch out my hand upon him and destroy him in the midst of my people. Not only does he deceive them, he destroys them for being deceitful. And who deceived them? It's the Lord who deceived the prophet. Okay. And next half verse. I will stretch out my hand and destroy them. I'll deceive you. I'll deceive all prophets and they'll speak deceitful things to you. Deceiving prophets. Hey, the book was written by prophets, right? He said all the prophets are lying and all the prophets are deceiving, right? Okay, and that's not good enough, Mo, because it's the Old Testament. Here's some New Testament. Titus 1, verse 14. You can have a story just in one verse. It says, not giving heed to Jewish fables. Jewish fables? He's calling this all fables. You're not to give heed to Jewish fables. And the commandments of men. Don't even give heed to the commandments of men. That's just a little part of the verse right there. Not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. From the truth. He already said it's all lies. From the truth, that doesn't make sense because he says, pardon me. I'll put a lying spirit in the mouth of all the prophets. Don't even give heed to Jewish fables or the commandments of men that turn from the truth. Turn from the truth. Truth is bullshit because he already said, I'll put a lying spirit in the mouth of all the prophets, and the prophet deceives someone when you're a prophet, your pastor, don't speak badly about my pastor. Don't do it. But he already said, I'll put deceitful spirit and the lying spirit. That eliminates the whole book as deceitful and lies, right? Okay, Titus 3 verse 9. But avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. The law is unprofitable and vain. The law? Aren't you talking about the whole entire book again? Hebrews 13 verse 9. Be not carried away with diverse and strange doctrines. This is diverse and strange doctrines. Do not be carried away by it. Diverse and strange doctrines, that destroys the credibility of the book, doesn't it? For it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace. The heart. There's like 50 verses that say the heart. The heart's not knowledge, the brain is. You think with your heart. No, you don't. You think with your brain. But according to the Bible, you think with your heart. And not with meats that profit them, not profit them. And occupy therein. But Mo, why don't you just turn to God, huh? Why are you an atheist? I'm going to try to convince you by tagging you in this post about this Italian doctor. He's working in the coronavirus kind of thing, the COVID-19. And he decided one day, I'm no longer an atheist. I'm going to turn to God. Why would you do that when it says in 1 Thessalonians? Or maybe it's 2 Thessalonians, pardon me. I'm correct. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. And for this cause God shall send them a strong delusion that they will believe a lie. It's a strong delusion that they will believe a lie. Hey, I think that includes the whole entire book. That they all might be damned to believe not the truth. Believe not the truth. He already said it's not the truth. This is not the truth. He already said, I'll put a lying spirit in the mouth of all prophets. And if a prophet deceives you when he's spoken things, who deceived that prophet? It's the Lord that deceived the prophet. So, in other words, the whole entire book is lies. So why don't you dump your religion?